this is a video over a combination of movements, but a little different than the additional line drills that I've been doing. And this is apparent close and cross hands. Like, so if you're doing a small routine, you know, like even the ones that we do, right? A small routine, or like some popular, well-known small routines, like the 24, right? Everybody, most everybody that teaches either started teaching that or they teach it as a very beginner form for their students to get the idea of Yang or other sports commission forms. So you can do the apparent close as a stepping piece, a moving posture piece. There's a video over it. It's like one of the first ones I think that I did. So this way, right here and out, right? I can step through and out, step through and out. But in the long form, depending on how you look at it, the cross hands is either the end of the previous set or the beginning of the next set. And as it relates to the short routines, it's always the end of the routine, right? So I'm going to do it this way first, but I'm going to use kind of a narrow frame to begin with. So I'm here, and I pull back and I push out, and then I shift my weight as my hands open. See the weight's here, and then look. As my hands fold, I shift the weight to the other leg, and I'm going to pull the leg in. As my elbows go back, as the palms go down, I straighten out my body. Now, there's different ways to do this, width and heights and all of that stuff, even speeds. And I'm going to do it in a larger frame to kind of show the mechanics in a better way. You know, the smaller it gets, the less you can see the body movements, especially in the hip region. And so I'm going to do it a couple of ways, right? I'm going to do it this way. And look, I'm really going to use a big frame. And you don't have to do this size, and you may never do this size. Maybe you're older coming to it, or maybe you have a bad knee, and this would be maybe too difficult. So there are many reasons why you would maybe never do a large frame. But if you're young enough and you're physically capable enough, challenge yourself to do the large frames to start, and then move to the medium or the small frames. So we're here like this, and so as I roll back, you look like I'm really bending from the hip, okay? There are styles that do this way, and we don't do that in Chang Tai-Chi, and it's not that is wrong to do it that way. You'll even see those that roll on the foot to do it. It looks kind of neat. But the problem is I'm not really engaging the buttocks and the legs and the hip, especially the hip flexors and the core, like the lower, the lumbar and the lower abdominals. So we really want to kind of dig in, and then we drive out with emotion. And if you notice, my elbows are moving with my knee. Okay? Two, also look, I'm not pushing into my knee. Okay? I'm not doing that. I'm stopping here, right? You need to get really this. And if you want to really strengthen your upper legs and your buttocks and your core, this is a really good movement exercise. So I'm here, I push away. As I turn to the front, my arms open and I shift the weight to this leg. And look, I'm not forcing into the leg or rolling the knee out. And then look, as I scoop the hands up, I'm going to shift the weight to this leg. Now the other thing too is you have to be strong enough to not do this, right? You have to be able to draw the foot up. It's kind of dragging a little bit, but not really that much. It's just kind of more like I have the foot on the surface. In other words, I don't want to do something like that, right? But in that fashion. All right, elbows in, palms go down, stand up. If I do it from a shorter frame, I do it like this. So a lot of people, they come to Tai Chi when they first start, not everybody, but a portion of people, their walking gait may have become shorter over time because maybe they're not using the legs as much and they're not as active. And but we still want them to at least get that heel line in front of that other toe. See what I mean? Heel in front of the toe. So we're going to use this kind of narrow stance to do it. And look, I'm still going to open my hips, my knees, and my ankles. See? This way. Even if I'm up high, I still want to be able to engage that hip. And then when I turn, I still put the weight here. I still pull the weight back. This is kind of a challenging move, we'll say, in some ways. But look, I'm going to do it that way, and this way. And that way you can see it from different angles. So, and again, if I was doing it as from a long frame, I wouldn't bring my feet together until the very end of the form. Okay? So look, I'm going to use that real narrow frame again. And I roll back with it. And look, if you see, my arms aren't even really moving, right? Just this little bit of movement with my elbow. And if you think you have to push with the hands for power, you really don't. Like from here, my hands are here, right? And watch, if I just use the body, I don't have to do this. The more I can connect my whole body together, the more power I can generate for application. If you're doing Tai Chi for functional fitness, this is where it makes sense. Instead of me trying to force this door open with my hands, I use my body. See, I use the leg muscles and the buttocks to help me to push that door open, and then push the door open all the way. That's where Chang Tai Chi helps you for functional fitness. It's strengthening the body, getting our coordination better, and getting our body to work in a unit so that we can maximize the mobility of it, the flexibility of it, the strength of it, the coordination of it, all of those factors. So again, short frame, just going to put that one foot in front of the other, I go back, out, and then now, as I shift to the front, this hand is going to move with this leg. See? Now, as I shift the weight to this leg, I pull the hands back in and I pull the foot in. To do it from this direction, same thing. I pull back, and look, I'm engaged, right? And I straighten out that leg. Not all the way to lock it though. And then look, as I turn, see? Shift the weight back, I pull everything in. This is another good reason to practice this piece. Is, again, a lot of people when they come, their gait or their step is smaller. And also, too, it can be combined with having like a forward bend. Now, I'm bending from my spine. That's different than me doing this, where you notice everything in the posture is correct. My hip and my torso are in alignment together. Now, practicing in this way helps to strengthen the core muscles, the abdominals, the lumbar, the oblique, the deeper muscles that connect to the spine, as well as the buttocks and the thighs. So, this way. But what I was going to get at is, by leaning forward like this, a lot of times where the person ends up maybe having a destabilization moment, or they fall down, is when they're like this and they go to turn, and the weight goes into this void where they're not stable, from their feet going this way, right? when they go to turn and they're bent like this, this gives it the opportunity to feel like they potentially could fall. So when you practice this movement, I'm here, look, see? I try to straighten the knee up and I lift my crown. It's a good movement to help you to find that spatial awareness of you being able to turn. So begin with a narrow stance. I shift. I pull in. Do it this side. Again, just a little bit in front of my other toe. Right? I pull. Wait. I load everything. I extend. I turn. I'll gather everything together. I'm going to do it as a large piece, just to show. You can see the movement bigger, more clearly like that. So I sink back and I drive out, I shift, shift. On this side. This side. And one more time, narrow. Okay? Do it from here. I don't know if there is a specific age point where you should do a narrow frame or a large frame. I think that based on your physical capacity at that time is where you should start. A lot of teachers do not teach that way because it's much more involved, meaning they're going to have everybody do the form one way. If you're even younger and you have maybe some physical issues or coordination issues, you know, at different ages we all have different things going on, and but I feel that it's so much better to share the material with people and develop something that works based on where they are right now. And then as they develop, they're able to progress with their Tai Chi to, we'll say, make it more demanding for themselves, so that they can get more out of it. I just really feel that's the way to go. And a lot of the people that just teach it one way, some of the people are going to excel, and other people are going to have a really hard time struggling to try to maybe do it because maybe the teacher only likes to use some kind of a larger frame, and they won't share with them doing it in a smaller frame. Or maybe the person has a bad shoulder or a bad hip or a bad knee. I need to be able to compensate and help that person to be able to reach their goals with that injury in mind. You know, whether it's a chronic injury, or it's recent, and maybe they went through physical therapy and they've gotten out, and maybe they, you know, damaged the knee really bad or the hip or something like that. And they need that level of progression. And if you're 70, you still need that level of progression. You need that challenge in your mind and in your physical body. And Tai Chi is gentle enough for everyone. So one more time. Okay. Dig deep. Again. I really like Chang Tai Chi because, again, most Tai Chi styles you would be doing something like that. You wouldn't really work the buttocks and the legs and strengthen those hip flexors to the same level. We want to be as invigorating and as healthy as we can. And I feel that Chang Tai Chi does a better job of that in some ways. And it's not a slight on any of the other styles. It's just my personal preference and what I like to share with others. If you notice too, look, you can pick the foot up and bring it in. ways that I share and teach the movement. In the beginning, I wouldn't recommend that if you have some stability issues right here. And look, be sure that when you turn, you're lifting the head up and pushing out from here, right? I want to think I'm kind of pushing out so it keeps my posture straight. Here, right? And then look, just slide it in. So anyway, I hope you liked the video, and thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, if you would please, and if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.